All right, let's get right into it. We're diving deep into a college football playoff matchup that's bursting with history. Notre Dame versus Indiana.
It's a big one, that's for sure.
We've got the 7th-seeded Fighting Irish hosting the 10th-seeded Hoosiers.
And get this, it's their first meeting since 1991.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and to make it even spicier, this is Indiana's first ever appearance in the college football playoff.
What a way to make a debut.
Talk about a baptism by fire.
Before we get into the current matchup, let's rewind the clock a bit.
Time for a little history lesson.
They haven't played each other in over 30 years.
And their last meeting before that was all the way back in 1959.
That's a long time.
And historically, Notre Dame has pretty much owned this rivalry,
Yeah, I've heard that.
Depending on who you ask, it's something like 22 wins for Notre Dame to just 3 or 4 for Indiana.
Wow, that's a serious gap.
But there's one interesting tidbit buried in those stats. Indiana's only win against Notre Dame in South Bend was way back in 1898.
1898, that's over a century ago.
Yeah. They haven't won on Notre Dame's turf in well over 100 years.
Well, this game is more than just a rivalry reignited, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's the very first game of the expanded 12-team playoff.
We're talking a whole new era for college football.
What a way to kick things off.
And a chance for both teams to make a statement.
Huge stakes.
For sure.
A win for Notre Dame would be their biggest bowl-level victory since way back in '94.
Yeah. And for Coach Freeman, it's his playoff debut as head coach.
No pressure.
None at all.
Both teams are coming off incredible seasons, both with 11 wins.
Indiana went undefeated in their conference, finishing 11-1.
Talk about dominant. They're both statistical powerhouses, too, leading the nation in points differential.
Indiana's averaging a whopping 28.7-point difference per game.
And Notre Dame's right behind them at 26.3.
They're not just winning, they're crushing teams.
And it's not just one side of the ball either.
Right. Both teams rank in the national top 6 for both scoring offense and defense.
So this isn't going to be your typical Big Ten slugfest, huh?
More like a clash of the Titans.
I've heard a lot of buzz about Indiana's style. They're calling them the decisive pacing masters.
Yeah. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, break it down for me.
Well, it's all about efficiency and controlling the tempo.
Dictating the rhythm of the game.
Exactly. Their quarterback, Curtis Rourke, is known for getting the ball out fast, which could be a real problem for Notre Dame's pass rush.
So how does Notre Dame plan to attack this Indiana defense?
Well, they seem to favor a more traditional physical approach.
Yeah, more of a ground and pound style.
Yeah, Notre Dame's offense is built around a strong running game.
Designed to wear down their opponents.
But their real strength, their defense,
Their calling card.
known for their dominant front seven.
And their knack for forcing turnovers.
Oh, they're hungry to get that ball back.
They've also shown they can handle the pressure. They're coming in with a 6-game win streak against ranked opponents.
Experience is definitely on their side.
So we've got these two powerhouses, both at the top of their game, with totally different styles.
What a matchup.
What are the experts predicting for this one?
Well, some think Indiana might come out hot and put up some early points.
Trying to set the tone.
Exactly. But the general consensus is that Notre Dame will adjust and start to take control as the game goes on.
Sort of like a heavyweight boxing match.
I like that analogy. Trading blows, feeling each other out, and then...
Bam! Notre Dame lands the knockout punch.
Oh, we'll see. It'll be exciting, that's for sure.
So we've got the historical rivalry, the clash of styles, two statistical titans. But what about the X factor? What about the wild card?
You're talking about Notre Dame's quarterback, Riley Leonard.
The guy everyone's buzzing about.
If Leonard can utilize both his arm, his legs, effectively, he could be a real game changer.
He's shown flashes of brilliance this season. But
this is the biggest stage of his career so far.
So can Leonard rise to the occasion and lead Notre Dame to victory? Or will Indiana's decisive pacing disrupt the Irish and pull off a historic upset?
Stay tuned to find out.
It's a true clash of styles. Strength versus speed, experience versus hunger. What stands out to you as the most intriguing aspect of this matchup?
Honestly, I think the historical context's fascinating.
Yeah, tell me more.
You've got Notre Dame's clear dominance over the years, but then that single Indiana win in South Bend way back in 1898 adds this layer of anything can happen energy.
It's like a David and Goliath story.
Exactly. Indiana, the underdog, trying to slay the giant on their home turf.
But let's not forget, they're not just some scrappy underdog.
Oh, absolutely not.
They had a record-breaking season, achieving the largest year-over-year increase in points differential in FBS history.
Yeah. They're a force to be reckoned with.
And their tempo-based offense is like a well-oiled machine,
Yeah.
wearing down defenses with its precision.
They've scored at least 30 points in 10 out of their 12 games this season.
That's some serious consistency.
Sure, they don't let up.
So, while history might favor Notre Dame, Indiana's definitely not coming in to roll over.
They're here to make a statement.
This is going to be good.
Buckle up, folks. This is just the beginning. But there's a catch.
Oh.
Indiana has a historically ad-Doppel-L record against top 5 opponents.
Really? How bad are we talking?
Try 171 all time.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, and they're currently riding a 13-game losing streak against ranked opponents.
So the question is, can they break that curse on the biggest stage of their careers?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
This game is a huge e-test for Indiana, a chance to prove they belong among the elite.
Absolutely.
But to do that, they'll need to execute their game plan flawlessly.
Yes.
And to avoid costly mistakes against a Notre Dame team that thrives on creating turnovers.
Speaking of Notre Dame's defense,
Yeah, they're a force of nature.
only 2 teams all season managed to rush for over 200 yards against them.
Who were they?
Army and Navy.
Both known for their option-heavy running attacks.
Right.
So that says a lot about Notre Dame's discipline and physicality.
Absolutely. And let's not forget their knack for creating turnovers.
They're like hawks out there, always looking to snatch the ball away.
If they can force Indiana into making a few errors.
It could completely shift the momentum.
No doubt.
Sounds like we're in for a real chess match.
Yeah!
Both teams trying to outmaneuver and outmuscle each other.
It's gonna be a battle.
The experts are predicting a close game, but who do you think has the edge?
Honestly, it's a tough call.
Really?
Notre Dame has the home field advantage, the experience of playing in big games, and a defense that can shut down even the most potent offenses.
Right.
But Indiana has the momentum of an incredible season, the hunger to prove themselves, and an offensive system designed to keep opponents on their heels.
So what does all of this mean for you, our listener?
Simple. This game is a must-watch.
Plain and simple.
It's a clash of styles, a battle of wills, and a chance to witness history in the making.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's the perfect way to kick off the expanded college football playoff with a matchup that has all the ingredients for a classic.
Will Notre Dame's experience and defensive prowess prevail? Or will Indiana's high-powered offense and hunger for an upset lead them to victory?
Only time will tell.
We've talked about the historical rivalry, the clash of styles, the statistical titans. But what about the human element? What about the coaches?
Ah, excellent point. This game has huge implications for both coaches.
And break it down for us.
For Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, a playoff win would solidify his status and silence any lingering doubts.
This is his first playoff appearance as head coach, right?
Exactly. And on the other side, you have Curt Cignetti, the architect of Indiana's remarkable turnaround.
He's taken a program that was historically mediocre.
And transformed them into a national contender.
A win against Notre Dame would be monumental for him and the entire Indiana program.
Imagine that narrative. Indiana, in their first ever CFP appearance, takes down their in-state rivals, the powerhouse Notre Dame, on their home turf.
Talk about a Cinderella story.
It would be huge.
It would send shockwaves through the college football world.
And put Indiana firmly on the map.
But Notre Dame is a formidable opponent.
Oh, yeah. They're not going down without a fight.
They have the talent, the experience, and the home field advantage.
It all comes down to execution.
Which team can impose their will, minimize mistakes, and make the key plays when it matters most?
That's the beauty of sports.
The unpredictability, the drama, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat.
Exactly. And that's what makes this deep dive so captivating.
We've laid out the facts, analyzed the strengths and weaknesses, explored the historical context.
But ultimately, the outcome remains a mystery.
And that's the beauty of it.
We get to watch it all unfold, to witness the clash of titans, and to see which team emerges victorious.
But more than just the outcome.
Right. We get to appreciate the journey, the stories, the human drama that makes sports so compelling.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought.
All right, hit us with it.
Indiana has a chance to make history, to defy the odds and achieve the unthinkable.
Can they pull off the upset?
Or will Notre Dame's experience and power prove to be too much?
What are your thoughts? What's your prediction for this historic matchup?
We'd love to hear from you. You know, we've talked a lot about Indiana's decisive pacing, but I'm still not totally clear on how it works.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a head-scratcher at first.
Is it just about those quick passes? Or is there more to it?
It's more than just quick passes. It's about efficiency and tempo on every single play. Think of it like a well-oiled machine, where every part moves smoothly and quickly to achieve its goal. Indiana's offense is designed to keep the defense off balance by dictating the pace. They rarely huddle snap the ball quickly, and their play calling is all about keeping those chains moving.
So it's about forcing the opponent to react.
Exactly, not giving them time to settle in.
But if Notre Dame's defense is as good as we've heard, can Indiana really maintain that tempo against them?
No, that is the million-dollar question.
Right.
Notre Dame's D is built to disrupt, to create chaos. They're aggressive, physical, and they've got that knack for forcing turnovers.
If they can get Indiana's offense out of rhythm.
It could be a long day for the Hoosiers.
So it's a classic battle of strength versus speed. The immovable object versus the unstoppable force.
Love it.
We focused a lot on the offenses, but what about special teams? Could they be a factor in this game?
Oh, special teams can always be a game changer, especially in a close matchup.
For sure.
Indiana's got a reliable kicker in Charles Campbell. He's been consistent all season.
So he could be a difference maker.
If it comes down to field goals, absolutely. On the other hand, Notre Dame has a dangerous return man in Chris Tyree.
I've heard of him. He's a threat.
Capable of breaking one at any moment, could totally swing the momentum.
So there are potential game changers on both sides.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned earlier, this game is a huge opportunity for both coaches. Marcus Freeman looking for his first playoff win, and Curt Cignetti aiming to solidify Indiana's place on the national stage.
It's a fascinating narrative.
It really is.
It reminds us that there's so much more to these games than just the stats and strategies.
The human element.
Exactly. The dreams, the aspirations of the players and coaches, that's what makes it so compelling.
That's what makes it real. It's not just a game. It's a story unfolding before our eyes. A story with heroes and villains, triumph and heartbreak.
And we, the viewers, get to be a part of it.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we leave you with this. Indiana has a chance to make history. They have a chance to overcome their past struggles and pull off a monumental upset against the powerhouse Notre Dame.
Will they do it? Or will the Fighting Irish prove to be too strong, too experienced, too hungry for victory?
It's a question that can only be answered on the field. Enjoy the game.
Oh, this you crazy mother...